Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love.
Ooh, I love you, Jeffrey Pearl.
I love you too.
I want the world to know that.
Anyway, last night we were talking about, you were talking about how people's pickers are off, how they pick the wrong partners.
Right.
Tonight we want to talk about how you bring the right person into your life, or at least some of the ideas or some of the ways that you can do that, right?
Exactly. And that's something that so many people talk to us about. When am I going to meet the right person, or how do I find the right person? And these are critical points that are going to get you where you want to be, to have that relationship, that everlasting love, that outrageous love, extraordinary love that we talk about. Number one, and I've said this over and over again, and it's one of the most important things no matter what you're doing in your life, is first you need to love yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Once you are overflowing with your, with love for yourself, you have so much of it to give, and it shines out to the world. Have you met a person that is, really confident and positive? And I'm not talking about cocky. I'm talking about confident and positive. And, they walk into a room and the whole room lights up, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be around that person.
Right.
And everyone deserves to be that person. So first you need to fall in love with yourself.
And how do you do that? I mean, you've got to be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word and the words as you describe yourself, even to yourself, whether it be just in your mind when you look in the mirror in the morning, or even out when you're talking to other people around you.
Right.
Right? Examples, I forget who it was. Somebody was out there talking about, hey ladies, don't keep telling your husband, you're overweight or you have wrinkles or whatever it was. One day they might just believe you.
Right.
I got a kick out of that.
I love that.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day,
it's true.
Yeah. Well, it
Right.
is. So you've got to be impeccable with your word and how you talk about yourself, both internally and externally to others. So I think that's really important.
It's so important. So, look in the mirror every morning, let yourself see a big smile, and tell yourself how amazing that you are, right? I mean, we are all amazing human beings. Look at people on the, in the world. We're miracles, right?
It is a miracle.
It is a miracle. Right. So remember that you're a miracle, and shine that out bright to the world, right? And again, people want to be with confident, positive people. If you know you want to be with somebody like that, you can rest assured that somebody else wants that same thing from their partner.
Right. And it's important to set your intentions. Set your intention about this whole process. Who is that person? What do they look like? You got to set an intention that you're actually going out to find this person, mm-hmm. and actually the intention is you actually intend to do it. So you got to be confident in that intention, right?
Absolutely. That's so important. And, think about all the possibilities. As we know, and we've talked about, anything and everything in this world is possible because it already exists. You just have to be open to receiving it. So this person is there. They already exist in your life. You just need to reach out and grab them and take hold of them and make sure you don't miss that. So if you know that they exist, and you've set your intentions for all of that, and you're in a positive, amazing place, it's going to happen.
Right. And you have to believe. Operate from, a law of unlimited abundance. There's unlimited opportunity out there, unlimited abundance of, the types of people you're looking for. It's not like a piece of pie or a pie where you take a slice out, Think about your favorite pie. I love that cranberry raspberry pie you make. So, that pie, you only have so many slices. And when someone takes a slice, the slice is gone. I mean, I think that's the way a lot of us think about life. People think like, well, if that other person gets promotion, I can't get it. If that other person gets that that person that I'm looking for, I won't be able to get it. You can't think about it that way.
Mm-mm.
It's unlimited. There's unlimited opportunities out there. So the pie is unlimited, ever expanding. So when someone takes a slice out, there's plenty more for everybody else. So you need to think about everything that way, including attracting that significant other.
Exactly. I mean, I've heard people say all the good ones are gone or whatever. That is so not the case. You know, the right person for you is already in your life. You just need to open up your eyes. And as soon as you've done the steps that we just talked about and your eyes are open, that's when you're going to see this person. And one more step is literally visualize that person and how you are together as a couple, how you laugh, how you're better with that person, how they're better with you, and visualize your life together. And I have to say, you know, literally visualize that person. When I was in, I think, college, I was an English major, and I had a super cool teacher, and he always let us write about, you know, whatever we wanted, and I wanted to write about my perfect soulmate, and it was so detailed, you know, down to the height, down to the weight, down to the eyes, the hair. I had such a vision of this person, and not just physically. And you know, I want to stress, physical, you know, isn't what's most important, but if you are going to recognize this person when you see them in the world, you have to know what they look like. So I had all the physical attributes. I had all the moral attributes. You know, this person was going to be an amazing husband who wanted to do a lot of things with me, you know, who wanted to share in my interests and was going to teach me his interests. And, you know, day one, I was going to let this person know that family was really important to me. You know, a lot of times couples won't talk about that. You know, let's wait until we're serious. I mean, I always felt if I'm going to date somebody, I want them to know that that's who I am. I wanted to be a wife and a mother. You know, I wanted to be a mother. I was really excited about that. That was a big part of who I was, who I am. And I'm so blessed that Jeffrey and I have two amazing, amazing daughters. But anyway, I wrote this paper so detailed, and you know, I was in a relationship, and I remember thinking, and it was serious, and I remember thinking that maybe all of the things that I knew I wanted and that I had visualized in my mind, maybe they weren't possible. And I knew that as I was thinking that and in this relationship, that I was compromising. Don't compromise. Visualize this person and all of their attributes, and their like I said, their moral attributes are the most important. And don't compromise. And guess what? It happened. Interestingly enough, as you might have remembered from a previous story, Jeffrey and I had met 3 years previous. I then didn't see him again for 3 years, no contact. You know, it was a brief meeting. When I ran into him again and saw him, you know, it was just magic. And I knew from that moment, people say, you know, how do you know? And I mean, I just knew. It was different. It was a different feeling because I guess it was like we already knew each other. Do you ever have that with somebody where it's like, you know, I feel like we had a conversation. Right. I feel like I've known you forever. Right. Well, that's because I did. I had visualized everything about the person that I wanted to spend my life with, the person that I also knew was going to make me want to be the best that I could be. I mean, I was already at the top of my game when I met you, but together we were even better, right?
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon, and it's so spectacular when it happens.
Well, you know, and I saw that paper because you saved it. I mean, the details. So, you know, she's, you know, seen it, all of the items, and it was kind of interesting. You know, a lot of it there were attributes. You think you were describing me. You know, it was interesting, right? And it's like anything else. You know, goal books. We talked about this before too.
Yes.
We can go through, and I can show you goal book after goal book where we wrote things down, like, you know, what type of job I wanted, you know, how much money we wanted to be making, what type of house we're going to live in,
when we would pay the mortgage off, what month, what year, how we were going to do it. Every single thing we detail, right?
Right.
And we've accomplished all of the things that we've written down in our goal book. And when Jeffrey read the paper, it's almost as if he's reading a story about himself.
Yeah.
The
pretty weird, really, right?
Pretty bizarre.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the physical description, the emotional description, everything about it. And so that's super important. Some people might think that's kind of strange, but if this is a priority for you, just like any other goal, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the biggest priority in life, is to find your soulmate. Of course, again, I'm going back to fall in love with yourself first. Then find your soulmate, and together, this journey of life, you've got somebody to go through it with, to grow together, to maybe have a family if that's of interest or not. And, whatever is right for the two of you.
Right.
Yeah.
So after you get that list down, the next thing you really have to do is, as you're visualizing, you actually have to feel it. Like any other goal, you have to experience it as if it's already happened, as if you already have obtained the goal, as if you've already met that person. So,
right.
It's right down to, think about walking down the beach with that person. What does it feel like as your feet are crunching in the sand? The ocean is roaring out there. If you're walking in the forest, you hear the birds tweeting, and you hear, whatever, the trees rustling, the wind rustling. You can smell the pine trees, but really feel it, smell it, as if you're actually there. See all of the pieces, and involve all your senses when you're thinking about this.
Yeah. I mean,
and
visualize yourself together on the beach with a blanket wrapped around both of you, and all these visualizations are just, you have to manifest it, right?
Right.
And if you talk about, I wish I had that, if that's what you're saying in response to all this, you need to clear all of that out. Get rid of that. Meditate to clear all that out, because then what you're doing is you're sending out to the universe what you don't have. If you say, I wish I had that, I want that, I don't have that now, or my relationship isn't like that. All you're doing is sending out the negative vibes to the universe. So what we're recommending is send out all of these positive vibes, visualize it as if it's already happened, because it has. You just need to make that connection
right.
in that plane of life.
Right.
Right.
And then once you've done all that, you've got to be grateful. We've talked about this many times too. Have a sense of gratitude that you found that other person, and you're so grateful that it happened. And express that out. If you operate from a position of gratefulness day in and day out, more will flow back to you. As we've discussed, right? Absolutely.
Jeffrey and I had engraved in each of our rings. My engravement to him was, "You are my treasure," and yours to me was, "You are my shining star." I really believe that you are the treasure that I was looking for, and I wrote about it and I visualized it. And what's really important is, like Jeffrey's saying, be grateful every single day. Remember why you got together with this person. Life happens and things get in the way, but remember that this person's your treasure, and be grateful for them every single day, and be grateful that you found each other in this great big world. How crazy is that? There is a person out there, and I believe, it might not be one person. So if you've met somebody and you're like, shoot, I wasn't ready when that person came along and now they're taken, there's another person, or maybe they weren't the right person. But gratefulness is so critical. I'm so excited about this particular video because it brings up all of the emotions that go back, through my life when, I always knew I wanted to, kind of have that fairy tale, marriage and fairy tale love. I always wanted spectacular love. And I at one point I did think, well, maybe I am, expecting too much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not possible. And as soon as that happened, I was in a relationship where it wasn't possible. Huh, what a wonder, right? But then I, rediscovered myself again, and I, got back to, like I said, I was at the top of my game. I was feeling beyond grateful and happy for everything going on in my life. And that, bam, Jeffrey and I bumped into each other again after a chance meeting 3 years prior, and it was just meant to be.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, right?
It happens for a reason, and it happens when it's supposed to. And if you feel like your person is supposed to happen soon, get this stuff in place.
Right.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love.
Hey guys, go ahead and click off and subscribe, please. If you like this, we'll be sending out more videos. Thank you so much.